Have you ever wondered if the strategy that you have been following to grow your agency, sell your digital services, or land more clients is wrong? Well, I believe a lot of it that you do is wrong and it's holding you back. In fact, I know it because I've been trying to grow my agency for 3 years now, following all the wrong paths that you might think of. Back in 2022, I started to offer my digital services, doing cold outreach, and really quickly switching to doing paid ads to get my clients. I was using paid ads to get to the sales calls, but I have to tell you, it wasn't as successful as I would expect it to be. I mean, it was good and everything, but the balance of money, free time, and stress that I was having wasn't something that I was really happy with. I mean, I was sitting on sales calls for 6 hours every single day, literally grappling with all the objections that prospects would throw at me. I couldn't fix the issue of missing trust, no matter how good my sales skills were, or how good my offer or guarantee were. People just didn't want to pay. Only in summer of 2024, I discovered a new way to get clients, which got me rid of 90% of objections, and I even got rid of sales calls completely. I closed 2 new clients every single week, and I make from 500 euros to 1k euros every single day. And it doesn't work only for me, but for a bunch of other agency owners who tested the funnel, like Samuel did, who scaled to 10k euros in just 1 month, literally starting with 20 followers in his brand. Or Carl, who closed 2.8k from 2 clients in just 2 weeks of running the funnel. Or Strahinja, who was able to close 2 clients on a trial period in just 3 days of running the funnel. And in this video, I'm going to reveal the exact blueprint that will get you from 0 to 10,000 euros every month by using Instagram faceless brand and without worrying about the followers count. In this deep dive, you're going to discover exactly on what to focus on, what awful and outdated methods to completely avoid, so that you can start getting results exactly as you see here. So for who will this even work for? It works for agency owners, freelancers, and anybody offering any sort of digital service. It even works for people who offer regular service, but in this video we are going to focus on the digital ones. I won't be speaking about the cold outreach, so no cold DMs, cold emails, cold calling, none of that. I won't be speaking about how to go viral because you don't have any control of it. I won't be even showing you how to run ads to book more appointments and book sales calls because I found a better way. Now, there are 2 basic principles that I want to mention before we dive into the whole system. And first one is we are going to transfer from selling by telling, which is doing sales calls, to selling by showing, which is creating content. And this shift has made probably the biggest difference in getting rid of objections in the long run. And the second thing is, as I mentioned now, we are going to fix the issue of objections and missing trust by creating that content that sells. So we are going to completely move away from sales calls and being pushy and being salesy to just focusing on presenting people with the content and with the offer, with everything before they even get a chance to buy from you. So you don't have to conduct sales calls, you don't have to show your face, you don't have to go viral, and you don't have to have a lot of followers in order for this funnel to work for you. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, how is the faceless content going to work and how will you get rid of sales calls? Is that even possible? But stay with me, I'm going to explain you as we go through the video exactly how to do so. Before we actually go into the steps, I wanted to give you a quick overview of the whole funnel so that you know what we are even doing here. First of all, we are going to use Instagram ads to get new followers in, right? So before you even sell to anybody, you want to have leads, right? Of course, you're using Instagram ads, either profile visit ads or lead generation ads. And the results that you will get is a lot of DMs from qualified prospects or a lot of followers that you just DM and then you start a chat with them. That's the first stage. The second stage is the nurturing stage, where we are using 1% content, and I'm naming 1%. The whole funnel is named 1% simply because we are focusing on 1% of buyers, because out of 100 people, 1 of them will buy. And if you're able to attract that 1 person from 100 to be your follower, then you're creating an amazing audience that you will be able to monetize from. Now, we are going to use this content we're going to make stories and reels in order to raise trust and basically pre-sell people before we chat with them. And the last stage is the conversion phase, where we are using DM scripts and a landing page to get payments in. So that's a quick overview. Now, before you can even dive into doing this whole funnel, you need to do some preparations. And there are 3 things that you want to be focusing on before you start to use this funnel. And the first one is finding your niche. Now, niche with a big number of businesses is basically the only criteria that I'm looking for, because you might heard about this, but there is no such thing as saturated market. The only thing that can be saturated is the offer. Market can't really be saturated. The niches cannot be saturated because there is always enough businesses being opened up. And last thing is, businesses always need marketing, and especially local businesses. I have success with running my agency for construction companies, and I can tell you, no matter how many agencies are in the construction business and working with them, if you have a special offer, they will choose you. So don't worry. If there is a big number of businesses, like in my example, construction companies, you will be able to prosper from that. So don't worry about it. The second thing for the preparation phase is figuring out the offer angle. Now, if you are inside of a niche where, like chiropractors or dentists, where there is a lot of agencies already working with, you need to figure out the offer angle that will attract them to go with you. Okay, so for that, you need to think about the pains that they're having that you can solve. You need to think about the desires that they're having and how can you get them closer with your service. And the better that you know your niche's problems and desires, the more compelling offer you can craft. So the more you understand how the niche functions, especially the richer part of the niche, the better offer you can present in front of them, and sooner people will buy from you. Once you have those 2 things set, you are going to launch the faceless Instagram business profile. And there are a few things that I want to speak about here, because I see a lot of people doing like a lot of mistakes here. So I just want to make sure that you don't make the same ones. First of all, you can see we are not doing any personal brand. And the reason why is because I've tested personal brands to work with construction companies, and I've seen that they don't really want to work with one person. They want to work with the agency. Now, personal brand is something that I have here, like you're watching my personal brand here. But the difference is I offer done with your services here. So I have coaching, I have courses, I have like resources that somebody has to, like people need to trust me in order to buy my products, right? The educational things. But if you're just offering done for you system, right? Like the service that somebody can just, pay you to do for them. People tend to want to work more with agencies, especially like in local businesses if you're in that niche. So having just professional logo will be enough if the rest of the funnel and the rest of the profile is set in the right way. Now, the second part I want to speak about is the bio part. Now, I blurred it here because I don't want you to go there and sniff through my profile. It's more for people who already are in my coaching program or they bought my course. So it's kind of like a premium product there. But I'm going to tell you exactly what it is that you have to write here. So in the bio, you want to write what you do and who do you help. Like with who do you like? I usually have just my offer here so people can see the numbers, people can see exactly what can I achieve for them. You want to have the link to the landing page here, which will be explained as we go through the video. You will see it's basically somewhere where I host my VSL, right? So I just send the link to people. There are 2 more things that are really important when you are creating your faceless Instagram business profile, and that is story highlights. And I name it a sales funnel because you are using this as an asset to sell, to raise trust, right? It's going to be really important for the nurturing phase. You're going to see. So in the story highlights, you want to have a lot of results. You want to have your testimonials and you want to have the system broken down. So when you're chatting in DMs with people afterwards, you can just point them here to some of your stories. And what happens is if you point them to how your system works, they're going to continue to watch all the rest of the stories where you have results, you have testimonials, and people just they tend to keep watching everything. So the trust is going to be created there just by you sending the one thing in DM. The last part of the funnel is pinned videos funnel. Again, I name it the funnel because I use it afterwards when I'm trying to sell in DMs. And what you want to have here is who you are, why your system is special, right? Like what do you have that's different than any other agency that might be doing the service that you do, and your best testimonial. So you have who you are, what you do, and your best testimonial. And that's it for launching your Instagram brand. That's everything you have to have. Now, this leads us to the first part of the funnel, which is acquiring leads or acquiring followers. Now, we are going to use Instagram direct offer ads, which are going to be either profile visit ads or they're going to be direct offer lead generation DM ads. Now this is a long term, right? But basically what is getting you is you're getting DMs from qualified prospects. So you either get followers or you get DMs. And as you might see, like we are not getting any appointments. We are not getting direct sales calls. There is no, landing page where people can book time, like none of that. And we are not going to do any talking head videos. So you won't be in front of the camera. You will see the explanation below. So we are going to invite people with direct offer to come and enter our funnel. And the way they enter the funnel is they either DM us, right? They start a chat, or they follow us. Okay, and the main goal of this acquiring leads and followers is to get people to watch more of our content. The goal is not to sell here, because why are we not, I just mentioned that, why are we not doing direct appointment setting, which I did for the longest time? Because when you go on sales calls, the window to create trust is just too small. There is not enough time to create trust. If you're just a random person who they signed to their ad, after 2 calls, they will not pay you 1K, 2K, 3K. I don't know how expensive your service is, but they will not give you money that fast. You will have to do a lot of follow-ups. And that's why we are not asking them to book the call. We are just asking them to enter the funnel, become our followers, and watch more of our content. So this is how the ad looks like. It's really simple. It's just a stock footage video in the background. It's basically 5 seconds, and you have 3 pieces. The first one is calling out your niche. For me, this is only for established construction companies. The second part is you're speaking about your offer. So for me, it's get 1 to 3 private, highly qualified leads every day. And then I have call to action. So it's a really simple form. And the only thing that we are trying to do here is to filter anybody who is not a construction company owner, who doesn't want our service, to just get away from us. And we are trying to make only people who are those established construction companies to follow us. Okay. This is what we are trying to get with these ads. After somebody follows you, they enter the nurturing phase. Now, here what is basically happening is we are going to switch from selling by telling, which is usually done on sales calls, to selling by showing, which is just creating content. Now, here is where you gain the trust and crush the objections of your prospects. This is where I had the biggest problem, and this is the main goal of the new funnel and the new system that I'm showing you right here. So you have to really figure this out. This is where the magic lies. Now, once somebody lands on your profile, the only thing, if you're offering just done for you service, the only thing that they're concerned about is, are you real? And not a scammer, they want to see there is a person behind, and can you help them with their problems and their desires? They want to see, is there a person, and can you help them? Of course. Now here I want to speak about, will the faceless content work? Because you might be having questions about how will people trust you if they don't see you? Well, you don't have to show your face in order to raise trust. You can just show your personal life surroundings. You can show your workspace, take pictures of your laptop, take pictures of you working, and you just need to show your client success. That's enough to raise trust. Nobody cares how your face looks. They just want to see there is a real being behind it and not just a bot or some scammer that's nowhere, right? So you can see my stories right here. This is just me in coffee shops, me walking somewhere, but from behind. There is some stock footage also, but there is a mixture. They see there is a person living a life behind the profile. And as you might see, these are all stories, and stories are the main attractor and the main way to nurture your leads, right? Because they expire after 1 day, so you can pump them out every day. And it just takes you 10 minutes to create them. And now you can use also reels, and you do want to have them on your profile, but you can just post them 3 times per week. It's really simple, and you make them in the same way that this ad is right here. So faceless, 6 seconds long. You can have a headline and then some captions. That's not really important. The stories is where you are going to sell. Themes that you want to speak about are pains of your clients and how you can solve them, desires of your clients, again, the same thing that I mentioned before, and how you can help them achieve those, objection handling. And I love this part, because anytime you see that some objection is occurring multiple times on sales calls or in DMs, you can just speak about it on your stories and handle it, and you can handle it every day, literally. You explain your service, so you do basically a pitch there, and you show your testimonials and your results always. Just show as much proof as you can on those stories. Now, as you might see, what is happening here is basically we are converting sales calls into content. Like this is basically the structure of a sales call, and you can just make it to be a content. So then you sell through your content. Like that's it. If you want to copy my exact content creation system that makes me 2 clients every single week, I made a free resource for you. It's a free course. It's going to be the first link below, so you can just grab it there. The last phase of the funnel is the conversion phase. Now what's happening here is selling via DM scripts and a landing page. Okay, and I don't want you to think that this conversion phase is any different than any regular sales call, because I'm using the same principles that I would use on a sales call that I was using, but I just convert them in DMs and I convert them into the VSL. Now, I use DMs as a qualifying call, right? Because when I was selling before, I was using one call, which was qualifying call, and then I was doing sales call, which in this case is I use DMs as a qualifying call, and I use VSL for the sales call. And that's it. So the principle of sales usually stays the same, right? It's always the same. Now, this is a scheme that I'm using and that I always have in my head when I'm thinking about selling. And I want to quickly speak about it here because I think it's going to be useful for you. There are 4 stages in which a person is when they're selling, and I call this the Paradise Island framework. So first part is your prospect is in a current situation. He's not happy with the situation. He wants to go to the Paradise Island where it's basically his desired goal, but he is not there. And the reason why he is not there is because he was trying to build bridges that broke somewhere, and he doesn't know why. So what attempts did he do in the past and why it didn't work? Okay. And the last step is once you figure out where they are, where they want to be, and what did they do in the past that didn't work, you can present them with your offer and you can build a bridge for them to cross on their Paradise Island. Okay, so the framework and DMs usually go where they are now, and you're asking questions, right? Where they want to be, what are they currently doing that's not working? Like, why did they sign to your ad? Why are they following you? Like, what's the issue? Like, why are they not there where they want to be? And do they want your help? Only after you figure out they want your help, then you can go ahead and build that bridge, and that's basically where you sell. In this case, I just basically send the VSL. You can go for sales call because at this point they already they're really warm, right? But I always pick to go for VSL because I don't want my schedule to be jammed as it was before. So to do a quick recap here, we have 4 stages. Well, it's basically 3 with 1 preparation phase. You have, as I said, preparation phase. You're acquiring leads, you're nurturing leads, and then you're selling in DMs. So this is basically all that you need in order to sell with your content and scale your agency to 10k euros per month in 2025, and I believe going forward.